Hello from Tokyo. I am so excited to bring you all along with this journey with me.
That's exactly what I said a year ago when I got laid off.
In late 2023, I faced my first layoff from a tech company. Moving into tech, I never thought that I would face a layoff, but I guess many people don't either. I kind of saw it coming. Work had decreased, projects weren't really in the pipeline, and there were a lot of internal competition with each other. So when our CEO made an announcement that they were doing layoffs, part of me thought, nah, that can never be me and my team. About an hour later, I got an email saying that I was let go. Again, I wasn't surprised. I was more nervous of what had to come. To be honest, ever since I graduated, I wanted to travel abroad. I grew up traveling to 7 different countries abroad and living there, spending about 2 to 3 years in each country, and that really defined who I was. So when I had the opportunity to travel and do something for myself, I didn't hesitate. On a side job that enabled me to save up enough money to travel to Japan for 2 months. So what I did was I worked a part-time job, saved up enough money to travel to Japan for 2 weeks. For some reason, I decided to book a one-way trip. I didn't know why I was doing that, but I just felt like I didn't want to have a timeline. I didn't want to have somewhere to be, an expectation to be back home, or an expectation to find a new job. For the first time, I thought to myself, I am not going to work for somebody for a while. I'm going to do something for me. So when I finally decided to hit book on that 2-week trip to Japan, I was so excited, but nervous, but ready for what was to come. The day that I left to Japan is when all of these emotions of happiness, independence, strength, excitement, you name it, I probably felt it that day. When I arrived in the city and I was going to the bus and coming into the hotel, there were so many people. I had come from a small town, and just seeing thousands and thousands of people that day, it was all exhilarating. I was so nervous. Obviously, the language wasn't there. And I just kind of rolled with it. I said to myself, you know what? You're here, you booked, let's make the best out of it. And that's exactly what I did. So for 2 weeks, you're going to come along with me to see what I did between Tokyo and Kyoto. Or a lot of this was booked through Airbnb experiences. And this was hosted by Airbnb hosts that were locals to Japan. It ranged from bicycle rides around the city, late night eating adventures, and meeting new people from all over the world, but also visits to shrines. Everything that I did, I felt so proud of myself. Oftentimes there was some uncomfortability, from being confident dining alone to going to the movies by myself alone with no subtitles. But the feeling of doing so really brought a lot of happiness. In Kyoto, I met strangers who felt like friends. I met people who were living in China for 10 years and they decided to come over and visit Japan. I met people who were also living abroad in Singapore and in Thailand, project managers, also in tech, but they were living their life. And I met brothers who would meet in a different country every year, and it happened to be Japan this year, and our paths crossed. And then I met a great group of guys that graduated from college, and every year since they've graduated, they spend about 2 weeks together in a different country. Those are the types of experiences that I lived for. I loved meeting new people. And immersing yourself in a place like this, you realize how small you are, really, in the grand scheme of things. But it's freeing. It reminds you to let go of the unnecessary weight that you've been carrying. Because in the bustling night of Tokyo or in Kyoto, with all the lights, the street food, the vendors, the laughing, just so much going on around you, you just tend to just soak up what you're around, and you become another person, but another person that's living your own journey. The city truly does feel alive. There's a lot of energy, possibilities, people doing different things. It's here that I actually stepped into new hobbies that I never thought that I would do. I did karaoke with a group of strangers. I kayaked, meeting 4 other women traveling from all over. And I tried different type of meats that I absolutely probably wouldn't have tried otherwise. But between the moments of adventure, I gave myself the gift of stillness. I sat in the parks, I let the world move around me, I watched the rivers flow, the kids run around, people go to work. I sat in coffee shops watching people come in and out and order. And I would sit in parks and I would watch people just come and go, whether it was tourists or locals, the elder or the young. I journaled my thoughts, my fears, and my hopes. I let myself truly feel, whether it was the loneliness, the joy, the adventure, the tiredness, or just being in the awe of being in the moment. I think traveling alone just teaches you that while work and responsibilities are important, they aren't everything. Life is happening now. The world's just waiting to be seen, to be felt, and to be lived. And I learned that in this journey of being laid off, there were a thousand feelings that I felt. What did I do wrong? Could I have done better? And I think I put so much emphasis on work, where at the end of the day, I take pride in my work, but it isn't who defines me and what defines me. It's the ability to do well and then clock out and continue to live my life. Traveling really made me see that life is about finding new perspectives and hearing new stories from other people that you get to meet and realizing that every step forward is a step forward towards something better. We really do spend so much time chasing success and money and milestones, and that's fine if that's what you want to do. But truly, I think at the end of the day, life isn't just about goals we achieve, it's about the moments in between them and the moments that make us feel alive. In 2 weeks, I didn't just explore Kyoto and Tokyo. I explored myself. I gave myself that time. I learned that the most important journey is the one inward. And sometimes just stepping away from the familiar is the only way to truly come home. So the world is vast. It is fast. It's constantly going. But the time that we have is precious. So if you're watching this video, don't forget to live fully, love deeply, and never stop exploring. The world has so much to offer. Thank you for coming along my 2-week journey to Japan. I hope to go back, and I hope that if you travel, you enjoy yours. See you in the next one.
Should I get there? Is it too far? Maybe 15,000 steps? I don't know.
It all started in the summer. Whoa, I knew that you'd be thinking about me. Can we just tell each other? Whoa, how we feel. We used to hang out with friends, yeah, pretending that we couldn't see where this was gonna end. Yeah, you and me. I just can't stop, can't let go. Need you. I just can't stop, though you keep me coming back. You are like a garden. Who you are is what you grow. Started with a seed, then careful and nurture year after year. Watch it slowly changing with the season.
Oh my god.
Breaking through the drought and cold. It all happens with the reason. Cause one day your buds turn to blossoms and they all say, wow, look at her now. Can't even walk outside without the sweetness of her scent around. Can't stop her now. Planted her roots deep in the ground. Like magnolias in the spring, I open up my petals to the sky, soaking in the watercolors I bloom. And even if it takes some time, well, flowers never rush to grow divine. Patiently in watercolors they bloom. Remember that